welcome back to another episode with me, Liana. Today I'll be sharing with you how to work and operate a vintage sewing machine. Here today I've got a Singer Contempra 930 machine. It is roughly around 50 years old, so it is really different to what I was used to sewing with, jumping from a Juki 3 years old brand new modern machine to a vintage one here. The operations and the facets involved with the machine is very much different to what I was used to. So for those of you that are trying to work with a vintage old machine, whether it's a Singer and the model or any other models and brands which are different, here is a look on how to work and operate the machine. And I'll be going through how to thread up the machine and how to troubleshoot when the sewing and the threads go wrong. This machine uses a self-winding bobbin, so if those of you that want to know how to wind up the bobbin, it is a good idea to keep watching on how to wind it up as well as how to thread it up. Now, I spent a lot of time in the internet and on YouTube trying to figure out how to thread this machine up, and I didn't have much luck. Even when I looked at the manual book for the machine, it was still really hard. So for those of you that are in the similar boat as me that were trying to find how to thread up this kind of machine, here's a look at how to do it. So let's jump right into it. So this is Singer Contempra 930. It is, from what I read online, it's from the 1970s. So it's roughly around 50 years old, and the systems that it has in place is completely different to what I was used to. So I'll just run through with you guys how to go about threading this machine, because what I found most difficult was threading and operating the bobbin. And yeah, other than that, everything else ran really smoothly and the sewing was really easy and smooth, considering the age of the machine. So what I'll show you guys is, first off, before jumping into explaining the threading, this machine uses a slant foot to operate its feet. So what this means is that the feet is not actually a straight feet, but in that it is actually on an angle. So that is a look of the feet. It is a slip on and slip off where it detaches and gets reattached when you slip it in like so. So with a lot of machines, they either have a high feet where it's really high, or they have a low feet, or they have a slant feet. So any feet which is a slanted feet will be able to work on this kind of machine. But as long as it's not a low feet, it will not be able to work. With the needles, it is essentially important that when you unscrew to replace or put in a new needle, that the needle is popped all the way up to the top and then screwed in, with the flat side of the needle facing back and then the curved part of the needle facing forward at the front. So that's all that you need to know. Once we get that up and running, we're able to familiarize ourselves with how to use the bobbin. So the bobbin here is a top loading kind of bobbin. With sewing machines, there's either a top loading bobbin or a bottom loading bobbin. So this one here is just from the top here, and unlatching that hook, we're able to take out the bobbin. And this bobbin that this machine takes is a self-winding bobbin. So it's able to wind its bobbin with thread just by simply keeping it inside there, and you don't need to fiddle with it at the top of the machine where the thread gets pulled in and topped up. It's all done in the machine at the top loading section. So I'll show you in a minute how that's done. All you have to do is pop the self-winding thread inside like so with the latch down, and pop this white little hook to the left, and it will click, and then you can leave this steel piece open, and you pushing up this feet, you're able to step on the pedal, and it will automatically top up the bobbin thread in the bobbin. first, we put in the bobbin right at the slip of the protruding knob here. There's normally a lock which sits right after the bobbin and it goes to lock it in, but because I got this machine secondhand, I wasn't able to have the lock with it. And there's a trick to knowing how to put the bobbin in. Normally, if the bobbin has a slip where you put the thread in to keep it in place for it to not run, you have that facing out this way, and then the back is towards like that. After you pull the thread, it will get fed into this little dent in here, and it will make a snap sound. So I'll just pull it out to show you. You pull the thread in until it makes the snap sound, and there's a steel piece right behind here. It'll go in and around and then back down. So after it goes around the knob like so, we'll go back down and then back up, and then if you hook it around from right to left, it'll automatically slip into a hole inside that latch hook piece. You bring the thread back down and back around this steel piece which is protruding on the side there, and then you bring it back down and then feed it through the needle there, and then the machine is good to go. Perfect. So once it's all been threaded up correctly and the bobbin is good to go, we're able to test it out now, and as you can see, it is all a nice stitching line and everything is perfect. Now another tip that I wanted to share with you guys is, normally if there's any issues which I found when I ran into sewing, where the bottom of the stitching line is not sewing correctly or nicely, a good way to do it is to take out the bobbin and put it back in, and then leaving a thread outside like so before you push this piece back in. And what happens when you bring this out is that it'll start sewing nice and neatly again. Alright, so that comes to the end of my tutorial today. I hope this informative video will be helpful for you guys, and if you guys enjoyed it, please bear in mind that anything is possible with a vintage machine, and that even though it is old, it will still be able to work perfectly and well. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!